String Mechanics Masterclass, Indexing and Extraction. Today I'm explaining how Java string methods work, especially index, extraction, searching, replacing, and comparing. First, Java strings using indexing, and the index starts at 0, not 1. This is a common mistake. For example, string word LeBron, L would be 0, index 1, and so on. So the force character L is at index 0. The last character N is at 5. The method char at takes one parameter, which is the index, and returns the character. The return type of char at is, of course, a char. Example, word.char at 0 would return L. To safely use char at, the index has to be between 0 and word.length minus 1. Since LeBron has 6 letters, the valid indexes are 0 through 5. If I try word.char at 6, the program would throw an index out of bounds exception because index 6 does not exist. Now, this one is different because it will return part of a string. Substring will return a string. There are 2 different versions of this. One is substring start index. This starts at the given index and goes all the way to the end. For instance, word.substring1 will give you a Bron. Now, the second version is substring string index and end index. This starts at start index and stops before end index. For example, word.substring14 will give you Iber. The important rule is that the start index is inclusive, but the end index is non-inclusive. So the index 1, 2, 3 are included, but not 4. So char at gets 1 char, while substring gets multiple characters of string. Search and replace. For this part, I'm choosing part A, index of and last index of. These methods search inside a string. For example, string text equals 1 Binyama. Index of scans from the beginning of the string and returns the first index where it detects a match. For instance, text.index of A returns 4 because the first A is at index 4. Last index of scans from the end of the string and returns the last index where it finds the match. For example, text.last index of A returns 9. If the character does not exist, the method returns -1. Text.index of z will return -1 for each. So index of and last index of both return an int because they are a return an index number. Comparison formula. Now I will explain how strings are compared. The method equals checks if 2 strings have the same actual content. For example, input.equals yes. This would check if input is exactly yes. We would use .equals instead of equals because equals never checks actual text and checks whether 2 variables point to the same object in memory. So for the string content, you would use input.equals yes, not input equals yes. Now compare string alphabetically. For example, apple.compare to banana. This returns a negative number because apple comes before banana alphabetically. Return value are as such. 0 means the strings are equal, negative means the first string comes before the second, positive means the first string comes after the second. Therefore, equals is used to check if strings are exactly the same, while compare to checks alphabetical order. Part 2, Bug Hunter Clinical Snippet A. This is the code. Bugs and fixes. There are 3 total bugs in this code. The first code is found in the line scanner equals new scanner system.class. This is wrong because a scanner should read keyboard input from system.in, not system.class. The correct line would be scanner equals new scanner system.in. Now the second bug is in the line input.toLowercase. This is wrong because string in Java have immutability, meaning you cannot change the original string. So if you write this code, the lowercase would get created but never saved. So the corrected line is value equals input.toLowercase. The third bug is the line if input equals yes. This is wrong because equal compares memory, not the content of the text. To compare the actual text inside the string, we use .equals. The corrected line is if input.equals yes. Fixed code. This is the fixed code. Now when I run the code and write yes, the output would be success proceeding, showing the code works because the toLowercase changes yes to yes after reassignment, and .equals correctly compares the actual string of the content. Thank you.